Okay. Then. Hey everyone, I am Manan Mani. I am a Next Genius intern who is a sophomore in Ethical College and a 2024 Next Genius scholar. And here today with me is Raj Agrawal. And it would be better if Raj, you could introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. This is Raj Agrawal. I'm a 2020 Next Genius Scholar. I came here in the US in 2021 at Millsaps College. I graduated last year with double major in applied mathematics and economics. I did all my education here in the US. I'm currently working as a data analyst at Horn and will be working until this fall.
That's really cool. So, my question was, what inspired you to come to US?
The biggest inspiration that comes to US is the flexibility you get with, just getting your education, with just not learning the education part of it, but doing internships, getting to go about the global culture, learning from peers from different backgrounds. They have been through, different, they grew up differently, just getting that holistic experience of low education, uh, getting to know your peers differently, doing all the internships, and just in the dynamic environment this world is, I think US is a place where you can learn and execute all your ideas perfectly. And that aligns with the liberal arts education model that I picked at Millsaps College.
Okay, you explained it very well in some little words.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive into some academics. So you graduated in double major applied mathematics and economics. So I guess both of the courses are really heavy majors. So what inclined you towards that? Did you decide it pre-hand or did you decide it in the college?
Uh, So, a little bit of my background in high school. I have always loved math since grade one. I think most of the Indian students do are heavy in math. But I did commerce and mathematics in my 11th and 12th. And so I was always inclined towards math and economics and was always a number heavy person. So that was like primary reason of picking math and economics, and that they really blend in like really well. But another reason is like I really wanted to get a job into finance and I wanted to work more in the data side of the business, and that's why I chose this majors, right? Math and economics.
So typically you were a academic weapon, I guess.
Can you repeat that again?
Typically you were a academic weapon, I guess.
Thing is, people say like, okay, if you did math and economics, you should be a super smart person. It's like, it is not true, to be honest. It depends on how you go about it. I did
Yeah.
not graduate with the best honors, but I think I learned a whole lot during my academic journey at
Yeah,
LSAPS.
to be honest, it totally depends on your interest.
Exactly, exactly.
So, what do you in studies? Like, you're something kind of, you're totally your interest, or there was something else apart from your interest, which
Uh,
you to
I
choosing?
think it was just things, everything aligning perfectly with these majors. First, as I mentioned, my love for numbers. I just love, crunching out numbers either in Excel or doing calculations. That's the first part of it. I just love it. Second part of it, you can actually apply economics in real life because it's, demand and supply, your decision making, day-to-day activities, financial planning, doing market analysis, operations, whatever it is, economics, mathematics, finance, it covers all that aspect of it. Plus, given my family background in business, I really wanted to kind of get a deeper dive out what data and different things actually drive the decisions in the business. So that kind of led me towards doing economics and math. Plus, if you're an international student in the US, if you do a STEM major that economics and math qualify for, you get 2 additional years on your OPT to work. So that was another motivation to do economics and math.
Okay, that's yeah, that really sounded as a good research work before choosing your major.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, what we have noticed is there are a lot of colleges which are liberal arts colleges.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what is your definition towards liberal art education, and how has it shaped your academic and personal growth?
For me, I was really split between, picking a big college, a small college, a liberal arts college. Then I was like, okay, let me pick a small liberal arts college. Let me, kind of talk about liberal arts education itself. Like you get to pick whatever classes you want. You get
Yeah.
to kind of grow up in a culture where I mean, I say grow up because you literally grow from 18 to 22 in your college career. So that's a peak year of education for you. So I just wanted to be in a community where you are as close to your professors because that's where the connection comes and you learn the most. I wanted that tight knit community when you're connected with every single student on campus. You get to participate in clubs, not just participate, you become the leaders in those clubs as well. So that's what I really mean by liberal arts education. It's combining everything. It's combining your leadership qualities, it's combining this quality of education, and you just don't want to be a number, you want to be actually making an impact on the college or community. That's why I think liberal arts education, it comes to me.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good answer, which we can expect and which we also hope for from a liberal arts college.
Exactly. And plus, as I mentioned, it's the mix of different classes, different courses, along with this, I mentioned like math, economics. Along with that, I also took some classes in biology. I took classes in geology. That's like, I would have never expected me to take those classes, but because I got to take those classes in a liberal arts education system, it was really cool for me to kind of learn that aspect of different courses as well.
Yes, like I also can see that because like ethical college is also a liberal arts college, and despite being a common science major, I was also taking a class in global political thoughts, a political class, and
Mhm.
fortunately I scored good marks in that, so I'm
Exactly.
pretty happy
Yeah,
about.
it is okay. As an international student, as a person who has grown up in India,
Yes,
numbers are primary. I think that's a given benchmark that you need to have.
yeah,
Other than everything else you do is on top of it, because numbers are just benchmark for you and you need to score good,
yeah,
period. But
like
other than that, I think what liberal arts education actually do is like it lets you think out of the box,
hmm,
right? I took biology classes and learned so many more things that I would have never imagined myself to go through. I took music lessons. I was like, wow, this is something I've never explored. Maybe it's a passion for me, like I took classes where we watched movies in the classes. Like just
yes.
watch movies and give critics as our assignments. It's like, wow, this is so cool.
It's sometimes like I really like the idea of art classes because like what I believe is you never know the future. Like what dive you in. So
Exactly.
might be you being something else. You want to do something else, but you got interest in something else, and later on you became that person.
Exactly. Exactly. You never know what education right now you're taking will help you impact in future, right?
Yeah.
That thing, also another thing I'm really thankful for liberal arts education. I'm sorry we are stuck on this topic, but let me just finish
Yeah.
with this last thing. Is the right it's writing aspect of it because you write so many papers, you have to do so much critical thinking on writing papers, doing research papers and everything that kind of lets you think out of the box, get closer with your professors because you do research progress and projects and everything. So I really like that aspect of liberal arts education as well. Writing papers, improving your writing skills and everything.
That, that's really cool. And like you graduated from a college. So what made you choose that college and what stood out about it?
Uh, Firstly, thank you for Nixon scholarship. Like that was a primary motivation in kind of going to Millsaps College because I was in my back in 2019, 2020 when I was in my application journey, I was looking at different colleges in the US, right? As I mentioned, I had in my mind that I want to do math and economics as my major. I had like a background about that. And I was looking at colleges, kind of narrowing it down. And as I mentioned and touched earlier as well, I was looking at, do I want to be a small fish in a big pond or a big fish in a small pond?
Yeah.
That's what kind of ideology that took me to Millsaps. Like, it's a small college, it's a liberal arts college that kind of aligns with my interests. It has, you can get close with your professors, you can, join as many clubs and organizations as you want on campus and everything. So that's what made me choose Millsaps.
That's really good. So, how has the community at your college influenced your experience, especially in terms of diversity and inclusion?
Uh, so Millsaps is very diverse college. It's a predominantly white college university, but it has a good mix. I would say like we were like 20 international student. To give you like a numbers perspective, Millsaps is a very small college. We're talking in like hundreds of students on campus. So I almost knew everybody in my class. I almost knew everybody on campus actually, because it was like such a small community. That kind of helped me grow personally and kind of have an impact on college as well. As I mentioned, I was involved in like several different organizations. I was involved in student body association. I served as a treasurer for a couple of years, where I handled the budget. I organized a whole lot of events for student body to make sure everybody is engaged in different things. They get to know what's happening, what the administration is doing, and how it's impacting students. That's one way I was involved. I was involved in different cultural organization. Like I was involved in South Asian Cultural Association, where we'll host different events like Diwali. That will be like a big fiesta for students, like where they can come, have fun, like they can have good Indian food, they can dance, whatever they do. So it was
Yeah.
like, sharing our culture at the same time accepting theirs as well. I was involved in Greek like as well. So I got to, experience that part of the college experience as well. So just like a whole, plethora of things that I tried to do and make the most out of my college. So it was
Ye-
not just what I got from Millsaps, but what I got to give to Millsaps.
Yes, like it seems like you have totally utilized your 4 years in the college.
Exactly. That was the goal from the get-go, right? Like
Yeah.
I'll be here for several years and I'll be spending some money there. It's like why to just sit in your college dorm room and do nothing? You need to make
Yeah,
sure you maximize every single minute, every single second you have on that campus.
yeah, that is the thing. Like I aim for the same in my
Hmm.
next 3 years. So
Exactly. And you should, right? You do internships to get involved in as many as different clubs, get involved in leadership positions. Greek life is optional, but I would highly suggest somebody to get involved in Greek life as well, because it gets you closer with like in a community where you can actually be close with them, learn different things, and explore a different part of life that which you might not be able to experience in after you graduate college.
yeah, and like you just told like you like to involve in different communities. So you must be having some friends with different majors from different backgrounds. So what helps to foster such community and how did you make those friends?
Uh, as I mentioned, like, I was involved in n number of things. Let me kind of give you a breakdown of how I got to meet different people from different places. First, I was a academic tutor on campus. So I was teaching math and economics. So people who were not from math and economics background, but they still have to take beginner level classes, they would come and reach out to me for help. So that's one way where I made connections. Like, oh wow, like he helped me, get good grades on my math exam or my econ exam. So that was one part of it. Second part was involved in student body association, where I was serving as treasurer, where people from different organizations like Black student organization or Asian student organization or different groups, they would reach out to me for funding request, where I would meet with them one on one, try to have the conversation like why do they want to have this event and everything. So that's another way of kind of pasturing a relationship with different students on campus. Then also just I was big on community service as well, so kind of bringing those things together, like doing
Okay.
acts of service. So like people from different backgrounds will come and share their experiences. I was also involved in this discussions that happen every week. It was truth, racial, and healing conversations, where people from different races, different religious background would come and share their story of it, like how they grew up, what are their religious belief, what are their cultural belief, and we'll share different things there. So that was another part that I got to experience, and I'm very lucky that I got to do that, because everybody has different childhood, everybody have different cultures when they grow up, and it's really really exciting to like learn about things from people say. So just different aspect of community that I got to know at Millsaps, and I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah, that's really good because yeah, like I get it because involving different communities, it's something like kind of sounds big but is really fun.
Oh yeah, it is. And as I mentioned again, going back to the thing, right? You have limited time in your undergraduate. You want to make sure you utilize the max out of it. I would leave my college dorm at 8 a.m. in the morning most of the times and would not be back until like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. I'd be just out there making sure, like
Yeah,
every single second, every single minute is utilized properly. But at the same time, right, you don't want to overburden yourself. So it's kind of like work hard, play hard kind of situation, right? You have to make sure you work. Yes, that's important, but at the same time, you don't just waste education. Like, you have to go out, go on trips, go on fun education trips as well with your friends, everything. So I think it should be a blend of both.
Yeah, it is a blend because eventually you automatically get involved with people. With like with any task you get. If you are in small college, you can eventually get involved with n number of people. And
E-
like my approach is also same. I can get you like I also leave my dorm at 9 a.m. and return at 11 or 12 11 p.m. or
Exactly.
12 a.m. because
Exactly. I think that
like I treat my dorm as a place to sleep. That's all.
exactly. That's how it should be, to be honest, right? Like you have to grind, grind, and grind.
Yeah.
And it might seem okay, like, am I putting this effort for no reason? But in longer term, like when I look back at now, it's like, oh, it was actually worth it. Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, let's go in some other past kind of thing before entering your college. So, can you share your journey with Next Genius program and what was the process like?
I'm not sure what the process is right now, but it used to be in-person interviews back then. I think I remember back in 2019 when I was participating in the Next Genius Scholarship Program, is you apply, you submit a form which says, like you have taken these classes, these are your college preferences and everything, and then you take a test. According to the test, you will get matched up with several colleges in the program, and you can set your top five preferences, and Millsaps was my first preference.
Okay.
That happens, then everything until December, you will do your normal college application. In
Hmm.
January, I think it was third week of January, where they would host in-person interviews in Mumbai. So delegates from Millsaps College or like any other college would come in person in Mumbai, and they will have interviews. So they will have group interviews and they will have one-to-one interviews as well. And depending on how you perform there, you will get the scholarship. Luckily, I was one of the 100% tuition scholarship award winners. So it worked out really well for me.
That's really cool because like again, like I don't know what was that kind of experience because now all the process has been shifted to online, which is
Mhm.
really comfortable and like you can be more productive out of that. So
Uh,
I really like
I,
the process, but I do sometimes feel that how would I perform in that kind of situation?
I, I think it's like, everything has pros and cons to it. I think,
Yeah,
right? But the biggest pro being in person is like you get to make that connection with the admission counselor. It's like,
yeah,
like
I
you
get
some people might not be able to, express themselves on video call.
it.
But in person, like they can have a personal relationship with them and kind of express themselves better. So I think for me personally, it worked out better because, I just think in person, you can have that connect with the person and
Yeah,
express yourself better.
yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
How did the scholarship and mentorship from the Next Genius impact your college experience? Like there were some other Next Genius scholars, or what kind of help had impacted from Next Genius?
Yeah, Millsaps College was like a hub for like next senior scholarship. Like I was, I think, third in the pipeline, third or fourth in the pipeline. So it started with like, actually what worked out best for me in a way is a lot of people from my high school went through next senior scholarship program and they came to the same college here.
Oh,
So in that way, it worked out really well for me. I live with three other people who went to the same college, who went to same high school, and we are like a really strong community here. So I'm
yeah.
thankful for next seniors and thankful for my high school. Like it worked out really well for me because we grew up together for 4 years at Millsaps. We went through ups and downs together. We took inspirations from people who graduated before us. Like they did similar career paths. So it was really, really helpful for us to have them with aside us because they have been through the journey before us. So they shared, what to do, what not to do, how to take things in a certain situation. So I think that was really helpful for, other next genius scholars to have on campus.
Hmm.
Just we grew together as a community. We kind of helped each other out.
Yeah. So, like, you graduated from a high distinction. Congratulations for that. So,
Yeah. Thank you.
what kind of GPA is required to attain that honors, and what kind of honors were present in your college?
So I think there are two different things. It's like graduating with the honors degree or graduating with honors. So graduating with honors degree is different, where you have to go through an entire different process. You have to write research paper with your professors and everything. I did not take that route. I just got a normal, like, I graduated with honors. So that's like a GPA requirement, as you were mentioning. So I think in US, it's a system where if you graduate with 3.5 or higher, you get a cum laude.
Hmm.
You get 3.75 or higher, you get magna cum laude. And if you get
Oh,
3.9 or higher, you get summa cum laude. And luckily, because kind of I made sure my grades were keeping up with everything, so I graduated with summa cum laude.
oh my God. So, like to attain such high GPA, to attain those honors, there must be some challenges and some milestones also during your academic journey. So, can you discuss about that?
I think, let's see. Let's kind of break it down, right? As I started with this, as we started this discussion, right? I mentioned grades are the benchmark. Think you need to have it. That was always in my head. Like, like whatever happens, as many things I'm involved in, I'm trying to do whatever. But what is the primary, you know, focus of you? Why did you come to US for education? That should never be sacrificed. So whatever happened, however busy I was, I made sure that I gave classes my first priority.
Okay.
That was step one. Make sure that grades, your education is your topmost priority. Second thing is, if you go to classes, and that is necessary for you to go to classes, but make sure you get as much information as you can during the classes, during the actual lectures, because that's where you learn the most. You can have the discussions, you can ask professor questions and everything. That's a key part of it. For me, I would gain 80% of my knowledge from going to lectures and would like do like 3 4 hours studying for a test. That's about it. Because I would ask questions to my professor, I would take notes during lectures, and that would really help me kind of gain that knowledge, not just for short term, but for longer term, because it's ingrained in my mind now.
Hmm.
Number three is, it's very important for you to attend office hours. Office hours is super important. People might think like, oh, you should not go, it's waste of time, but it's never a waste of time. Firstly, even if you don't have questions, just show up to office hours. Luckily, teachers might leak in some questions for you to prepare that might be on the test. Okay. Plus, you make the relationship with the professor that, like, you're showing up, you're showing that extra effort. So it's not just you're motivated, the professor is motivated for you as well to do well. And
Yeah.
it kind of just all blends in together and helps you prepare better for the test.
Yeah, that like to be honest, like students who study in a small school have slightly better advantage to get in contact with
Oh,
professors.
yes, definitely. I text my professor still.
So it's like if you don't
Mhm,
have a question, just hop in and say hi.
mhm. Exactly. So that's, I think, as I've mentioned, like, the student professor relationship is very important, because ultimately they will be the one giving you grades. And if you have a good relationship with them, even sometimes when you mess up, they can take care of the situations. So you might have an undue advantage there, but it's good
Yeah,
to have an advantage than a disadvantage, right?
yes.
Hmm.
So let's dive into career paths and opportunities now. So what were your plans like when you graduated? So what were your plans at that time? And were they able to fulfill, or did you have to change the plans, and what were the situations like?
Yeah, okay. So start with the beginning of college. Freshman year, I was like, okay, I'm doing economics and math, but I did not have a set career path in my mind. Then I did several internships over my college career. My freshman year, I worked at the development office, where I worked as a business development intern. I got to work with Excel files and see what developments are going in the business. So I was like, okay, that might be a good business opportunity for, like, job opportunity for me in the future, like work on the business development side of the business. Then my sophomore year, I did an internship at Blue Cross Blue Shield where I worked as an actuary because I was pursuing math and I was thinking like, and I love data. I was like, maybe actuary is the field for me. I did an internship and I found out no, it's not for me. Then come the senior year, I finally decided, okay, I was trying to apply for finance jobs. I was trying to apply for data analytics jobs. So I kind of find in between. I worked as a financial analyst for here. I, I stayed here in local because I interned with that company in my senior year. So I stayed here local where I worked for a year as a
Okay.
financial analyst. So in financial analyst, you not just work. So I was more focused on the data side. So I worked with different programming softwares. I worked, with Power BI, with Tableaus, with SQL and everything to kind of pursue whatever I learned during my math journey, my economics journey, and put that into work. But then recently I realized that in longer term, do I really want to just stick here and just pursue data analytics or just do something more bigger? So I started applying for master's program. And luckily something worked out for me. And recently I quit my job and just am full-time work planning to work as a student in the fall.
That's like really cool. And the thing that really clicked in my mind while you were saying about the internship is like earlier there were patterns like students used to do courses during their holidays and whenever they were free, and now they are doing internship, which is like I guess more better way because it's like when you work in that field, you get to realize that do you really want to do it or is it
Exactly.
your interest?
Exactly. As I mentioned, like in my junior year, I was thinking, okay, I could be an actuary. It sounds so cool and can make a lot of money. But then I actually did internship in that field and I realized, no, it's not for me because I was thinking I had some pre-notions before I went to the industry, but then I actually worked in that industry and realized, no, it's not for me. That's why I think internships are like really, really, really important aspect of your college career. You really need to have whether summer internships, fall internships, spring internships, whatever it is.
Kind of
At least
internship
have
would work.
huh?
Like any kind of internship would work.
Any kind of internships. It could be as small as unpaid internships or paid internships. You just need to get out there, try to work with different people, different career opportunities that you're interested in, so you can actually explore if you're actually interested in it or not. Like you can like the idea of working in an industry versus do you actually like working in the industry?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like that's kind of statements are like sounds similar but have a really different meaning.
Exactly, exactly. That's what I said. Like, do you like the idea of working in the industry versus actually working in the industry, right?
So how did you secure your current opportunity? Like you were working in a job after graduating. So how did you achieve that opportunity?
Networking, I think that's the key aspect of landing any job, any internship. Yes, you can just apply to different places and things can work out, but the success rate of doing that is super low. If you reach out, if you're interested in a job and you reach out to people working in that job positions or like managers there or hiring recruiters there, you reach out to them and it's like, hey, I'm interested in the job position. I just want to like get to know about your experience in this industry, how you got this, and just
Hmm.
meet up for a coffee chat, for a lunch or whatever, and meet with them. That's where you make the connection, you talk with them, right? You get to know their experience. And finally, if things work out well, you can ask them like, hey, I'm a senior, I'm graduating, I'm looking for opportunities. Do you all have any openings? So I think that's a way to approach and the approach I took. And it worked out well for me.
Okay. So as you mentioned, reaching out to your networks, like networking. So how did you gain access to such a network?
Uh, it's two-way, right? It's one thing is the alumni network, like
Hmm.
alumni who graduated from the same college, and you reach out to them who are working in the industry you're interested in. And that's a really, really, really helpful source because most of the alumni here in the US are more than willing to help you out because they know and they have been through your shoes
Hmm.
and they want to help out anybody they can because somebody probably helped them. So I think that's very important to do. It's like just reach out to the alumni in the network, the industry you're interested in, and they will definitely help you out. Other and the best way to do is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just social media. Like it is your right? You make sure you're active on it, you're reaching out to people correctly, you're looking for job opportunities there,
Hmm.
and just be active there. That's very key, important. Whatever, that's your, guide for success.
Hmm. Like, yeah. And again, you have mentioned a lot of things to do on college while you are as a student, like building your network, reaching out to people, connecting with professors during office hours or during class. So,
Mm.
any other advice which you want to give to any future college students that how to use their resources like effectively?
Uh, I think one thing that just links everything together is time management,
Mhm.
right? Don't spread yourself too thin. Make sure you have time. You're not just rushing from one thing to another.
Yeah.
Did that, and I learned it the hard way. But that's very important that you should always learn that you have all the resources. You want to make sure you utilize them, right?
Yes.
It should not be just go unnoticed because that can harm you in future. But time yourself better, like, make sure you go to classes, you try to attend as many clubs events you can, right?
Mm.
Career fair, job fair, every college has it. Make sure you go to those, get in touch with your career center because they help you better your resume. They can have good connections with people you might not find in the alumni network, and they might have job openings you can apply through there. uh, at the end of that, right, you work, do education, you network out and everything, but it's 4 years of your college experience. I think most important part is you just have fun as well. That's very important part of it. You grow, you do mistakes, and it's important to do mistakes in your college career,
Yeah.
right? So most importantly, whatever you do, just try to have fun as well.
Okay. Like, I am also present saying it because like I am a college student and like I am just thinking on the back of my mind, how can I go and reach out to this person? How can I go and reach out to my
Yeah,
other
just
professors? So
and exactly, and never be hesitant to reach out to anybody because what's the worst gonna happen? They're gonna say no.
yes.
That's the worst that can happen. And if you're not texting them, that's already happening. So
Yeah.
you need to take your chances, you need to go out of your way to reach out to people because nobody's going to reach out to you. You are the one trying to make things happen. So it's
Hmm.
all on you, like you have to go out of your way to text people. And the worst things that's going to happen is they're going to say no. That's about it. But
Yeah.
you keep doing and someone has to come through, right? So it's just a process that you have to go through, keep reaching out, keep texting people, and something will definitely come through.
So was there anyone like a family member or mentor who inspired you to apply to Next Genius?
As I mentioned, I think it was my high school itself because my high school was really big. Like my graduating class was 400 people. I had people from my classes who were applying to Next Genius. They were applying to different colleges in the US. That motivated me to, okay, like I should definitely go through this program. And I reached out to people who were at Millsaps College during when I was applying through the process, and they have been through Next Genius Scholarship Program. I reached out to them, and they told me like, "Oh, this is a really cool program. You should definitely apply through this." So it was like different things combining together. Firstly, I would say my peers, class itself, they were applying to colleges, they were applying through universities in the US, and Next Genius was one of the source,
Hmm.
plus the alumni network that was graduated from my high school and were doing education at Millsaps at that time. That really kind of helped me, go through the program as well.
Okay. So, like, last but not the least, like, what advice or what message would you like to share with upcoming juniors? Like, about anything, about US, about college, like, about anything which you can find, like, this might be useful for students.
Uh, One thing is never be afraid of working hard. Like you need to work hard, work your ass off, and things will come to place. That's one basic thing, right? But at the same time, don't make sure like it's 4 years of your college experience. You will never get these 4 years back. So have fun. So I'll stick to what I said earlier, right? Work hard, play hard. That should be the mantra at college in US.
Okay. So, yeah, that was my last question.
Okay.
And it was really good to have a conversation with you. It was so intellectual, and I personally also learned a lot from you.
Yeah,
For
definitely. And
that.
if anybody has any questions, they can definitely reach out to me. I think Next Genius can share my Instagram account or my LinkedIn profile, whatever, and they can reach
Hmm.
out to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely. And it was pleasure talking to you. And I hope this helps juniors and upcoming Next Genius scholars. Good luck
Yeah.
with this
Same
application
here.
process.
It was like pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, definitely.